So over the past couple of years, with the internet becoming much more readily available for people, a lot of people like to go out there and just discuss their opinions on a game they played a lot as a child. And they always go back and look at some of these games and realize that they aren't as good as they remember. There's just a lot of games out there that have that feeling to them. Like, you really liked them when you were younger, and then years later you come back to them and realize this definitely didn't seem to age well. But then that brings up a question for me. Can games actually age poorly? Like, thinking about it here, like, yeah, the answer would be yes. A lot of games can age poorly. But just in general, can a game, in the entirety of a game, can it age poorly? And that's what I just want to talk about, because there are parts in a game that can age poorly, but that doesn't mean the entire game itself aged poorly. And that's just something I wanted to talk about in this video. No script or anything. The two games I wanted to talk about in this video are Super Mario 64 and Sonic Adventure. The reason being is that, you know, Super Mario 64 was Mario's first 3D adventure, while Sonic Adventure was Sonic's first 3D adventure. So I know a lot of people are going to rush into the comments section real quick and just ask the question, why are you targeting these two games specifically? Like, why these two games? And it's not because I hate these games, because I don't hate these games at all. Super Mario 64 and Sonic Adventure, they're both great games. I love to come back to them and just play them on my own time. But I just thought they'd be the perfect games to talk about in this video when just bringing up a topic like, you know, if games can age poorly or not. I just think these two games fit best in that category. So with that out of the way, let's get into this topic of if games can age poorly or not. Starting off here with Sonic Adventure. This game, wow, a lot of people like to come back to this game and bash on it just because of its flaws. Like, a lot of people just don't even look into the good side of Sonic Adventure. You know, when coming back to, like, these games, a lot of people tend to just look at the bad side and that's it. Like, if you go on one of those, like, top 5 worst Sonic games of all time videos, like those, they'll always probably have Sonic Adventure on them, and they'll always use the DX footage, you know, from the Sonic Adventure DX remake. And I hate that, by the way. Like, come on, if you're gonna use footage from Sonic Adventure, use it from the Dreamcast version. If you're talking about Sonic Adventure DX, say Sonic Adventure DX, not just Sonic Adventure, because then you're talking about the Dreamcast version. Anyways, I feel like a lot of people just come back to this game and bash on it. Like, they never look at the good side of Sonic Adventure. They always look at the bad side. And that's basically what I'm going to be talking about with this video, is just the bad parts of Sonic Adventure. You know, there's a lot of good things, like level design-wise, Sonic Adventure does great in that. Graphically, it looks great. You know, for a Dreamcast title, it looks great. It released in 1999 as well, and, like, yeah, that was before, you know, getting into the generation with the GameCube and the PS2 and the Xbox and all that. But yeah, graphically it holds up well, you know, all that. But getting into the bad side of it, I know this has been brought up all the time at this point, but the cutscenes. Sonic Adventure, it just gives you a good laugh looking back on it. Like, back then you were like, whoa, this is impressive. Look at that. It's an actual cutscene. And then, like, looking back on it now, it's like, what is this? What? But yeah, it's one of the flaws to Sonic Adventure that sticks out hard. It's a part of Sonic Adventure that has definitely aged poorly. I feel that's always mentioned in any video bringing up Sonic Adventure, I know, but I had to place this in the video, you know, anyways. Now, there's other flaws to Sonic Adventure I could go way more in depth to, but we're already 4 minutes into this video, surprisingly. But yeah, you know, there's lots of other things, like the amount of glitches you can encounter. I know that's another thing that's brought up so frequently with Sonic Adventure, but that is another flaw to the game that really sticks out hard, and it makes parts of this game just, you know, age poorly. So yeah, Sonic Adventure overall, you know, one day I plan to just go in depth with, you know, the 3D Sonic games and actually review them. But Sonic Adventure overall as an entire game, I could go in depth for like an hour and just talk about everything the game has to offer. But in general, I don't think Sonic Adventure aged poorly. as a whole at least. There are lots of parts in this game that I could go in depth to and make this like a 30-minute video talking about just Sonic Adventure and Mario 64 and their flaws. But like, yeah, overall I don't think Sonic Adventure aged poorly. I just think parts of it did. You know, just the cutscenes, the glitches. I know that's a thing that's brought up so frequently with, you know, videos talking about Sonic Adventure. But yeah, that's really just about it for this part of the video. I don't really want to go too in depth with Sonic Adventure, as I do plan to review these, you know, the 3D Sonic games eventually. I just don't know when. So, getting on to Super Mario 64. This one, wow, it does have a remake as well, in the form of Super Mario 64 DS, just like how Sonic Adventure has Sonic Adventure DX. But, honestly, this game, I feel aged worse than Sonic Adventure. That's an opinion I've had for a while, and I know a lot of people are going to kill me for it, seeing as a lot of people see Super Mario 64 as the better game compared to Sonic Adventure. But I feel like it aged worse in many ways. I don't know what it is. Like, yeah, you could take the cutscenes from Sonic Adventure and be like, wow, that's physical proof right there. It aged more poorly than Super Mario 64. But taking cutscenes out of the equation, taking glitches out of the equation, just the game in general, I feel, aged a little more poorly than Sonic Adventure. Graphically, I don't know what it is. The graphical and art style for Super Mario 64 always has bothered me. For the DS version, it's fine. But talking about the original N64 version here, it's so weird. It's so inconsistent, and I don't get it. Like, it doesn't feel like a piece of Mario's world. Like, you know, the castle grounds and Peach's castle and all that, that's fine. That actually feels like a part of Mario's world. But the levels themselves just feel so inconsistent. Like, they don't actually feel like a part of Mario's world. Most of them are, like, floating in the sky. It's just, like, I don't get it. Some of these levels, it's just so inconsistent with Mario 64. As with Sonic Adventure, one of its, you know, best moments in that game is just its world. Like, it's all connected together, and it feels like you're actually in that world. It's just all pieced together really well. As with Super Mario 64, it's always inconsistent. That's just a word I have to use for it. But yeah, honestly, graphically, Mario 64, even though it's on, you know, it's weaker hardware compared to the Dreamcast, but still, like, comparing it, I just feel that Super Mario 64 definitely didn't age well graphically and with its art style and all that. In terms of glitches, there aren't as many as Sonic Adventure. I know that. Control-wise, it was the first of Mario's 3D adventures and was one of the first big 3D games out there. So, yeah, I kind of give it a pass for control, and it doesn't even control that bad. It's just when you're playing like something like the Virtual Console version of Mario 64, it does feel a little off compared to playing it with the actual N64 controller. But in general, as I said with Sonic Adventure, Super Mario 64 aged fine enough, but it just aged poorly in some parts. And in conclusion, basically games, they can age poorly, but not as a whole. I feel games can age poorly in certain aspects, but looking at the game entirely, any game that you feel has probably aged poorly, not every game has aged poorly. It's just some of the parts of the game, yes, they aged incredibly poor, but the game as a whole just hasn't. It's just my personal opinion, though. I want to hear what you guys have to think. I have kind of rambled on about a lot of stuff in this video, and yeah, I just thought I'd sit here and talk about this as a little bit of a discussion. I know this was more of a comparison between Mario 64 and Sonic Adventure. It does feel like that, but I just thought using those two games as an example would work for this type of video. But again, just let me know what you guys think about games aging poorly or not. Just comment down below or whatever, and I'll see you guys in the next one.